We're at 23, they're 12, and they have scooped it up. Let's go, Golgari! Are you looking for a deck that plays some of the new Final Fantasy cards, but A, doesn't use a bunch of rare and mythic wild cards, and B, actually can win? Well, I have the deck for you. It is no rares. That's right, no rares Golgari. Let's go. Welcome to the Attic. ManaDad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena. On Arena today, Final Fantasy. It's week 1. Everybody wants to play the cool new cards, including stuff like Diamond Weapon, an 8/8 that is prevent all common damage that gets dealt to it. Like, how does opponent even deal with it if they don't have removal right away? Well, we're going to see. So, this is absolutely zero rares. No rares. All right. I know some people do no rares in their thing, and then they put rares in the mana base, or, you know, they're like, well, you get a rare with this deck or that deck that comes with it. No, this is zero rares. This is artisan, if you will. And, of course, I'm not saying it's budget in paper, because we do have expensive stuff like Up the Beanstalk, but I think it'll be pretty reasonable. You can click through on the deck link in Moxfield and see what the actual cost is. But we know this is a pretty good shell, because Up the Beanstalk combined with things that get a discount when you have stuff in your graveyard is pretty good. So what we've done is take that deck and add in some of the new Final Fantasy cards. And I actually, when I did a budget version of this, I did have Overlord of the Baelmerks previously, but I think one of the new Final Fantasy cards is actually Overlord of the Baelmerk at home. Town Greeter doesn't bring back a creature, which is kind of a big loss. And of course, if you want to do Overlord of the Baelmerk and instead, that's totally up to you. But we're doing no rares. Town Greeter, 1/1, mill 4, which is pretty good for a 2-mana creature. And you can put a land card among them into your hand. If it's a town card, you can gain 2 life. Well, I put in 2 of the towns, just in case. The life gain is never bad. Also on the mill and life gain from Final Fantasy, I just put a 1 of fun of here. Shinra Reinforcements. We didn't have anything at 3 in the curve. So I thought, you know, what are we using our Llanowar Elves to ramp into? Well, we can ramp into Shinra Reinforcements. 2/3 enters, mills 3, and you gain 3. All right, common. Absolutely easy peasy. And then Diamond Weapon is the other big one from Final Fantasy. It is a legend, so just keep that in mind. But it's an 8/8 reach, prevent all common damage that would be dealt to Diamond Weapon. If you want to dial down the Diamond Weapons, if you don't even have, you know, maybe you're pinched on the uncommon wild cards. Okay, you can dial it down. You can put in stuff like Huskburster Swarm if you already got that. Chitin Gravestalker, Writhing Necromass. We got a bunch of these big threats that get cheaper for either creatures in the graveyard, or in the case of Diamond Weapon, permanents in your graveyard. And we do have some permanents. Nowhere to Run would count as a permanent, of course, if it gets removed. And Up the Beanstalk does eat a lot of removal. In terms of removal, I'm expecting a lot of aggro decks here, so we are running 2 cut downs. If the aggro decks stop being such a problem, you could up the Gorehounds, because the more creatures we have in this deck, the better. But for now, we've got cut down. Gnawing Vermin actually is can make it kind of hard for these decks to tangle with, because it blocks, it deals 1, and then it can give something -1/-1. So that can be useful. Nowhere to Run can deal with the mice pretty well. Can deal with, you know, all the hexproof and everything else that's run around. Tear Asunder. We just got 2 of these in here, but it's nice to be able to kick it and just remove anything. If we run up against a Planeswalker, what have you, that's great. Of course, the key piece of creature and Planeswalker removal is Overwhelming Remorse, which is sort of like our Ride's End in this deck. It's a 5-mana removal spell that pretty much never costs 5 mana and triggers Up the Beanstalk. So I'm not sure if strategically we're supposed to mulligan for Up the Beanstalk. I think if you were doing this best of 3, you probably would. But in best of 1, it's a question mark. Up the Beanstalk is the all-star card in this deck. If you can get that out turn 2, you know, get something milling with either one of these, things that mills, get some creatures in the graveyard, and all of a sudden just start dropping Hollow Marauders, Huskburster Swarms. Oh, I guess we didn't talk about Hollow Marauder. This is my favorite of these discount creatures. 4/2 flying, comes in, usually draws a card unless opponent discards something big. Watch out for it with the Omniscience decks, and there's flying and make some discard. So that's the deck. I won't jabber any longer. Let's see this No Rares Golgari in action.
Oh, beautiful Final Fantasize for near mid slabs of chains, for purple hippos majesty above the city's plains. The gathering, bless Garfield's PhD, and crown thy good with cardboard hood from spree to scrying free.
This season of Independence, ManaDad reminds you that the true spirit of Magic accepts every player, even if they like Universes Beyond, even if they play Alchemy. Let's enjoy the gathering together, where it has been and where it is going. Subscribe to channels like this one that celebrate the best of Magic and toss clickbait into the ocean like milky British tea. ManaDad's videos feature authentic win rate stats and are funded by members and viewers like you, and also his kids' college fund, if we're being honest. God bless ManaDad, and God bless Magic the Gathering. I've been testing this out on my phone to try and get the the levels of different cards right. It's been winning too consistently. I'm like, I'm gonna rank out a silver, and then what am I gonna do? But I guess that's okay. If it competes at a higher level, all the better. We've certainly seen these Golgari Beans decks compete very effectively, and we have Up the Beanstalk, and we even have a turn 1 Miller. We'll mill ourselves, thank you very much. Got a creature in the graveyard. Overwhelming Remorse goes down. Diamond Weapon has gone down by 2, I believe. Thanks to hitting the land there. Forsaken Miner. Alright, so we could Town Greeter. We could just up the Beanstalk. I think they're black, so they might not be able to deal with Beanstalk very easily. Forsaken Miner, we can just trade here. We don't mind. We like our creature in the graveyard. Deep Cavern Bat probably takes the Overwhelming Remorse. Let's see what they take. Will be interesting. Took the Diamond Weapon, okay. Well, let's gnaw some vermin. We should have Town Greetered so we could hit a land drop. But that was a punt.
From the end zone, he punts it. Oh my goodness, this could be the longest punt in Super Bowl history.
I don't think I've been that excited for a punt. What a punt.
Gix, and they get to fly in. Guess what? That Gix is not long for this world. Remove a your geeks. Draw a card. Remove a your bat. Draw a card. It's just like too easy. And then we'll play Diamond Weapon, draw a card next turn. Or we could play Down Greeter, probably still play Diamond Weapon. Let's see. Forsaken Miner is back. They grab the Diamond Weapon again. A bit annoying. I'm hoping to use that to draw into something. One turn away from getting our life off the Town Greeter. This is the kind of time when I wish I had something in this deck that was you know, a bring back from the graveyard thing. There's that cool rat sorcery consider putting in here. Makes a 1/1 rat for each creature in the graveyard. Corpses of the Lost. Great. The opponent, you don't realize I don't care about losing creatures. My creatures are fodder. Too many lands here. Flooding out. Oh, conscript. And Overwhelming Remorse. I guess we'll just bust the bat so we can get the diamond weapon going. They seem to be very worried about this diamond weapon. And ooh, another Overwhelming Remorse, which is good with all these Forsaken Miners that recur. Well, conscript can only come back if a non-skeleton died. Let's ice the Forsaken Miner. Draw a card. Block. Block. Diamond weapon is already fully discounted. Oh, right. It's legendary. I did mention that in the intro. See if this diamond weapon can take it all the way. Hasty skeleton. For 8, and I think we will legend rule ourselves just to have some defense, just in case. We'll keep this one. Oh, and we got our Shinra reinforcements. Down to 24 cards in deck. Haven't milled ourselves out just yet. Nice that we do have 2, and that can't even block because it's suspected. We have 2 threats here, so can they make another blocker? Interesting. So no blocks. We'll take 3. And Strangled Cemetery enters untapped. That's right, opponent. That's the power of no RARES Golgari. Up against Koro. Take 7. A couple tap lands here, so I guess we'll play one just to make sure we're beanstalking on 2. They absolutely run fewer tap lands. Oh. Somebody else town greeting. Alright, this looks like the more powerful version of our deck with rares. And they went first. So, unless we draw... Well, I guess if they don't have a beanstalk, maybe we got a chance. We have a couple things that can remove beanstalk. The Lord of the Hauntwoods. They're ramping like the Dickens over there. I guess we'll play a tap land. Well, let's see. Let's Gnawing Vermin first. Mill ourselves. Land creatures, good. You have the Surveil lands, you can put those in. Anything to add to the graveyard? Oh, wow, okay. They got Yuna. Brings back an Overlord. And, yeah, we could try to Overwhelming Remorse. No, oh, this is... We could Overwhelming Remorse Yuna this turn. There's nothing in the graveyard to bring back, is there? So I guess the bigger threat is this Overlord. Draw a card. If you like Yuna Reanimator, I played, I've got a video I just put out yesterday of a Naya Yuna deck. Very similar, it looks like. Except I don't think it was running Time Reader. So, we could Hollow Marauder. They want stuff in their graveyard. We could do this and hope we hit enough permanents for Diamond Weapon. I think we probably will. Yep. There was we would have liked the Tear Asunder. All right. Well, the fact that they didn't play anything yet makes me think maybe they don't have anything they want in their graveyard. They could have just straight up played a 7-mana Overlord. Yeah. Okay. Good. Phew. A lot of removal. Be out the door with the Diamond Weapon. Temporary lockdown. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Okay, they must have drawn that. Or they didn't understand that they could have discarded it and then brought it back. Full 3. Strangled Cemetery, now untapped. Let's see. Do we Gnawing Vermin first, then Town Greeter, then Diamond Weapon? Almost certainly Diamond Weapon is going to cost 2. Diamond Weapon does have reach. Looks like maybe they drew removal, though. Well, let's stop. This has trample. I guess because they can just bring it back with Yuna. Yeah. Huh. This is a tricky one. You need more enchantment removal. If this deck becomes popular, I would say put in more enchantment removal. It's going to draw them a card eventually. Yeah, they're willing to chump there. Weird. We'll add the land because why not? Nobody's pinched on mana this game. Temporary lockdown, okay. They try to trick me. And they got another Yuna. Oh. We could eat a beanstalk, but it might be too late unless we draw some interaction here. hard to survive. We're gonna make 2/2/1 flyers. I get to bring back whatever I block. Diamond Weapon is holding its own, though. And Tear Asunder, interesting. Bring back some of our stuff. See if we draw out of this. Nope. Just a land. Playing some No Rares Golgari. Up against Matt Cad. Cad Bane. Meets Pat Matt. Alright, so we have no black, but we do have Beanstalk to hopefully draw into it, and we have Llanowar Elves. Matt Cad. It's a mulligan. Let's see. It's a risky keep.
There should be no risk management. Study risk-taking, not risk management.
Ooh, it's a chocobo deck. It's a
Risky
chocobo
business.
deck. Kill ourselves. Wow, 2 Up the Beanstalk. So luckily we have 1 in hand. Guess I wish I'd played in the other order now. Does make Diamond Weapon cheaper. We're gonna... oh, look at it. It's a Tifa deck. Okay. Well, we'll put another thing in the graveyard. Tifa has Trample. We've got instant speed removal for Tifa. If we want it. I guess we don't really have anything else to play this turn, so let's just pass. Let's see if they make Tifa really big. We would love for them to expend a bunch of resources trying to make a giant Tifa. Tifa, if you don't know, is 2 mana, 1/2 trample, landfall whenever a land you control enters double. Tifa. Okay, well, they're firing off Snakeskin Veil now. Does that mean they have 2 Snakeskin Veils? No. Okay. 2 for Wondom. And that might be the win. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Got him. Okay, no rares, Golgari. So this is a perfectly good hand. We got 1, 2, 3. Well, depending on what the opponent plays, 2, 3, curve out. I'm going to keep it. Kind of hand you might, if you were being really aggressive, try to mulligan into the beans, but almost punted there by playing green first. Sequencing, everyone, sequencing. Reduce the cost of the Hollow Marauder by 1. Should get another good mill here on turn 3. One is in red. Okay. Well, hey, there we go. 1, 2, 3 mill. Oh, and we can get a town and get some life. I think we're going to need it against mono red. Although they did not play anything on turn 1. So is it... oh, it's red-blue. Okay. Click shot show off. Attack. Yeah. Still got... the Hollow Marauder still got 4, so we basically have no choice but to do this. I think we can attack now with these. They want to haste into something. They got the Hollow Marauder to deal with. It's a Vivi. Okay, well, is Vivi the bigger threat than think Vivi's the bigger threat. Let's remove Vivi now. It could still unload on us quite viciously next turn with the Slick Shot. We do have the Hollow Marauder to block a flyer eventually. Hopefully they play a Corey Steel here. Oh, black. Okay. Oh, the Wizard deck. They don't even attack. Witty interesting. Let's see what we mill over with Town Breeder. Diamond weapons. Hit the swamp. That mana's not going to matter, so we'll play the tap land. And we'll play the Hollow Marauder. See if this can draw us a card. Usually a Spellslinger deck would have a lot of cheap spells. Yep. And I guess we shouldn't have played the land at. We should have played the Hollow Marauder, then waited to see what we drew if it was a 1-drop that we could have played. So there's that. If I attack with the Vermin, then we definitely get rid of that Wizard. And they block. We definitely get rid of the Wizard. But they probably just don't block. They probably would just take one. So I guess no attacks. Kuja! What does this do? Makes Wizards every turn? And then flips. Okay, well, we'll exile that. I think we're safe now to attack with the Hollow Marauder. If they make the Slick Shot show off really big, we can Tear Asunder it. We're at 23, they're 12, and they have scooped it up. Let's go, Golgari! Okay, so how do we do? Well, a stellar 67% win rate, 100% on the play, 0% on the draw. That is so much magic in the year of our Lord Richard Garfield 2025. I will say those two losses, one was to mono white life gain, and we totally flooded out. So we could have won that game, and the other one was to Yuna deck. We also beat a Yuna deck, and I can't remember if we flooded out or not. I guess I'll put that one in the video so you will know how that one went. But if I don't put this one in, Diamond Weapon was an all-star. We would, if we had won that game, it would have been MVP Diamond Weapon because we were blocking one of their bats that had gotten up to like 16 power. So that kept us in that game and drawing, and if we hadn't drawn a bunch of lands in a row, we probably could have gotten out of that game. Now, as far as this deck goes and changes I would make, I would I don't know if Llanowar Elves is actually that useful. It is a removal magnet. That's pretty good to have. Nowhere to Run was actually really good with the Yuna deck. So if the Yuna decks become super popular, removing that ward is going to be, and removing hexproof from stuff, that's going to be really useful. I wouldn't mind having a couple more Tear Asunders in the deck, or the other card from Tarkir, which I'm blanking on the name of, but it's a modal spell, and you can remove an artifact, remove an enchantment, or remove a card from a graveyard and draw a card. So that's pretty good. Town Greeter was fantastic. Happy with 4 of those. Up the Beanstalk, obviously best card in the deck. Shinra Reinforcements, this was just, for fun to show this card. I don't think you necessarily need it, especially if you're trimming down Llanowar Elves. I would get rid of it. Overwhelming Remorse, 4 of for sure. Hollow Marauder, 4 for sure. Huskburster Swarm. This is maybe you would trim down, if I could do it again, maybe would trim down a couple Diamond Weapons and put up a couple Huskburster Swarms just because of the legend rule thing. Although Diamond Weapon, definitely a lot of opponents just were kind of scooping based on that. In terms of the mana base, you could go up more towns. The life gain from the town greeter thing might be relevant here and there on the margin, and coming in untapped later in the game when a player has 13 or less life might be less relevant with Strangled Cemetery. That's one you just have to play a lot more to know about. So that's my thoughts on how the deck played. Just over 34 minutes, ranking right up like a rocket here. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I have been ManaDad, reminding you Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.